to Newrealities. I'm Alan Steinfeld, and I have a very exciting guest today, Patty Goedl, and she is putting on one of the major conferences of our time in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's ConsciousCon, and it's really about the acceleration of our vibration, our awakening of consciousness, our moving into a new future. Thanks, Patty, for doing this and for being here. So what was your vision in creating this conference? Because I know conferences take a lot of work. What were you hoping for?
Yeah, I don't know if I was hoping for anything at the beginning. About a year and a half ago, I was meditating. I've sort of been on a spontaneous awakening journey myself, and I was meditating, and all of a sudden, I'm not clairvoyant or clairaudient. I don't claim to be any of those things, but I heard just as clearly as I'm speaking to you, I heard everything that you have done up until this point has prepared you to do this. And I saw ConsciousCon, and I saw this big event. I saw this anchoring of energy. I saw the people and the expo and the speakers, and most importantly, I saw the attendees, and I saw us gathering and coming together and creating this vortex of this new energy and just being bathed into it, and it anchoring into the ground and all the way down to the core of the earth and coming up and just encircling the globe. So it was just instantaneous. And prior to this, I'm actually a professor at the university, and one of the things that I did to get tenure was I did a series of teaching and learning conferences. So I think that's what they meant, that in that quest of getting tenure in my academic career, it actually prepared me to do this metaphysical conference.
Wow, so you, though, are coming out of a kind of a fresh awakening with amazing enthusiasm and a great vision, and I think you're seeing what's possible, what people are needing at this time. But I also want to hear about your awakening. You were a university professor, and then what happened? How did this transformation happen in you?
It's a strange thing. I've always been very aware and sensitive to energy. As a small child, I saw spirits, and it scared me so badly that I think I turned that off for the first 5 or 6 years. I mean, I saw there was a man that lived in my closet, and he scared me to death. I did a lot of astral traveling as a small child, and I saw things that scared me. But I actually come from a very strict fundamentalist religious background, and so I was taught, the hell and brimstone in church 3 times a week. You're going to hell, you're going to hell. Anything that is not of this Bible is to hell. So I spent about the first 25 years very shielded from the energies that I could always feel. And then as I got older, I worked through that, and once I started the journey of awakening, and it really started with Paul Selig. I started with his books, and I opened to the thought that there was more and that the energy wasn't necessarily hell energy. I really, really awakened quickly. And now I've always been an empath, but now I feel the energy in everything. I can feel the energy in music and people. It's amazing. And I embody such a tremendous amount of energy. It buzzes. It's always there. So it's been a beautiful awakening.
Well, that's great, because those are symptoms of awakening. It's symptoms of you're one of the vehicles for accessing this higher dimension, this awakening of consciousness, expanding of our mental capacities to feel, because it's all about feeling. So you're really leading us into a new age, into a new civilization. That's what I see. People like you who are waking up all over the planet, they're leading the way for something new to happen here. So you've put a lot of this energy into creating an amazing conference, really one of the most spectacular conferences I've heard about, with the leaders or the people really at the forefront who are leading this charge of awakening. So let's talk about some of those people coming to this conference, because I think it is an all-star cast. Like you said, Paul Selig will be there. And tell people your experience of Paul Selig, because I discovered Paul a few years ago, and I think he's amazing, and the guidance and the guides and the channeling that's coming through him is one of the finest I've ever heard, and I've heard lots of different types of channels. So tell about you, I think, because you have a great experience with Paul about what happened to you. So share that story.
It's interesting. My awakening on an official level actually started with Paul. It's funny, you work your whole life. I got my PhD and I raised my children who are now raised and gone. And I did all these things and I knew there was something more. And I just happened to catch Paul doing that interview on A&E. And it just stopped me in my tracks. And I had no thought of the metaphysical really before that. And I went and I watched his video, and that took me to getting his books. And I worked through all 3 of his books, and the guides and the energy that are available. A lot of the blocks that I put on for as a child were lifted. I learned how to work. It wasn't always comfortable. I learned how to work through some of the emotional issues, the letting go, the surrendering, the being a vehicle of the energy through his books. You're right. His guides are fantastic and phenomenal. They're here to help us. I will tell you, halfway through the 2nd book, I started smoking at about the age of 12. I was a smoker for 25 years. I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes, a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. And through the 2nd book, there was a little assignment there, and the energy just kept building and building and building. And that morning, the assignment, I was doing the assignment, and I heard as clearly as, again, I'm speaking to you, that habit does not serve you anymore, and you cannot progress with it. And I thought, you're right, it's not good. And I still, out of habit, lit a cigarette, and I got violently ill. I mean, just instantaneously ill, laid on the couch for that entire day, could not eat, had a migraine headache, and I knew at that moment I would never smoke another cigarette, and I have not. So yeah, the guides helped me remove easily things. I never thought I would not be a smoker. I never thought I would let go of the thoughts that roll in your head, but I was able to do it with Paul, and it's amazing, loving, beautiful, transformational guidance.
Wow, that is a great story. It's really, I've always felt those books were encoded with vibration. I don't know how they do it, but when I first started reading Paul's first book, I Am the Word, a channel book by these guides, I felt this acceleration. I mean, I wasn't smoking, but I felt an increase. So, and other people, there's a woman here in New York named Allison Storm. Her life completely changed by reading that book, I Am the Word, and now she's working to promote Paul all over the country. So these are gifts, I think, being given to us that are accelerating our transformation, and you're a great example of that. What are you a professor in? I'm just curious.
Accounting. I have a PhD in accounting.
In accounting. You're a PhD in accounting. Wow. I can't even do my checkbook, but but yeah, your life has taken a totally different turn, and now you had this vision to put together and bring together really other people that are accelerating it, and I think this is what's attracting this event. People are coming together to share this experience, because if you're in the middle of nowhere and having these experiences, there's no one to talk to. I think gathering like this is a bringing together of people to share experience, and also to bring them to the next step. So let's talk about who else is coming there, because I mean, one of my favorites is Matt Kahn, who I haven't met personally yet, but I think he is really at the forefront of new information. People say there's nothing new. Matt Kahn has new information. He's talking directly to people that are at this point of transformation, and I think it's really valuable to have him there with someone like Paul Selig and Abdi electricity, who can zap people to awaken with higher energies even. I mean, I've had a direct experience of Abdi where the Kundalini just rushes through the body. So, but talk about what your vision of bringing these people together was all about.
Exactly what you just said. I mean, you've nailed it. That's what it is. Just about every person on this platform is an energetic transmitter. This isn't a conference. This isn't Celebrate Your Life. This isn't a weekend with Marianne Williamson. This isn't intellectual even. The day of the intellectual awakening is kind of done, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. I love it. I love reading Marianne Williamson. I really do. But this is about the heart energy. We've gone as far as we can go with the intellectual mind energy and the third eye. We need now as a civilization to open our heart. And that's where the real soul is, in the heart. And there's a balance that needs to be achieved through this. And the energy, if you want to embody the pure good energy, it comes from the heart. So the people on this platform, Matt Kahn, he's the love revolution. He boils down these complex rituals and principles to this: goodness, kindness, purity, and a willingness to embody. If you are willing, you will come, and these people, like you said, that you have had direct experiences with, I have had direct experiences with, will in fact touch and energetically charge your heart so that the higher choices are easier. This is a different time. There's something new, very, very new, let's say Superman-like, that is available, and people will be charged. This is such an opportunity. It's not a time to sit and intellectualize anything. You need to be present, and you will be changed by this.
That is a great vision. You will be changed by this, by coming to this, by being in this energy field, by opening yourself up to the teachers there and your own spiritual yearning. I mean, this is not really about the time of someone doing it for you, but it's being in a collective field where we're all moving with each other to a new space. That's what makes this time different. This is no longer about the guru or the religion or the priest or some figure. I mean, there are figures that are coming, but they're all part, I feel, of assisting. And I think your vision of pulling these people together is a step-by-step unfoldment of acceleration. So I think anyone coming to this conference will, if they're interested in this or they're already awakening to these ideas, will have a chance to experience an acceleration. That's what I think is happening.
You spoke earlier of the Kundalini. That's what's going to happen. It is going to be amazing, sort of, the biblical baptism and the river, where people come up and are transformed, but they needed to go to the river. They needed to get into the river, but they are already who they are. All they need to do is dip in the energy and they will come up and be. And that's sort of what this is. This is an anchoring of that new energy that is so widely available. And with the gathering of these powerful souls, it will be so powerful that those things that people think, I can't change this, or this is too hard, or I can't overcome this, or I have these thoughts, are just going to shake off instantaneously. And you will leave and embody this energy more powerfully than you ever expected. This is real.
Wow, that is a great testament for your vision and who you are, because obviously by your example, it's happened and it's still happening. And I think with a conference like this, Conscious Con, we're moving through the first phase of this ascension, if you want to call it, this acceleration. And as we move through this phase, the parts we couldn't have seen before start to unfold in more detail, in more like Superman in a sense. I mean, you must feel that in your own life, that you're not anybody who you were before, huh?
Absolutely. After I embody the energy every day. It is such a part of my life, and it's beautiful. You know, it makes me, I am happy to be alive. I'm thrilled to be here. I feel like this is I am so blessed by this opportunity to be on this earth, and I never felt that way before. Before it was, oh, I've got this problem, or I've got this bill to pay, and now it's just, I embody it, and it runs through my hands and my feet and my crown all day long, and it makes me grateful and blessed and happy, and I see things from a higher perspective. I see people with love. I see the earth and the beauty of it. It's so different, and it's so amazing, and I can promise you I would never, ever go back. If you're not in the heart, you're not anywhere.
That's great. Imagine a whole planet like that. I mean, I think this is what we're coming to. I think this is a first wave that will sweep the planet. At least that's my hope and feeling. I mean, I think we can have a planet that lives in that vibration. I really, really do. I mean, that's why we're doing this, right? Because we want this to be a central feature of who we are as human beings. And, you know, that's where we're at now. And it's not about convincing people. It's about allowing them to have their own experience. So I think that's why you're making this happen, so people can come and have their own experience. Because you're right, philosophies don't work. It's not about being the head. It's all about what's happening to you and what you're feeling. I think what we can do is just make it okay for people to feel these things, to give them permission to say, no, there's nothing wrong, everything is right. You know, when you start to feel this vibration, like you're saying, your hands and your feet and coming through your crown, you're not going crazy, you're actually becoming sane. So it's really, really exciting. Just talk about some of the other features of the conference that's happening there.
Oh, there's so much happening that it will be 2 action-packed days. There are the speakers, of course. I have 4 keynotes that, like you said, that were selected for their ability to transmit the energy. So we'll come together, and the keynotes are going to be introduced with music and specific vibration, because there's a lot of awakening in sound. Sound has such a healing effect on the light body. So we'll all come together and gather, and we feed off of each other. You know, where 2 or more gather, it's kind of that idea of everyone's energy comes together, and we're all growing individually for sure, but as a collective we help each other. And then after the keynotes, we break out into 2 or 3 breakout options for workshops, and we have wonderful people that do light body work.
Like who?
Like Raquel Spencer and Dr. Edwige and Abdi. Actually, he doesn't speak. He does energetic transmissions to the light body.
And he's amazing, really. This woman in New York had a complete, like you, transformation just by being in an audience with Abdi. I saw it. I was there. She was bouncing off the floor, really, really just bouncing, and her life changed at that moment, and the whole room saw that. So.
Oh, I will tell you, when I talked to him on the phone, he called me and I spoke to him. Well, I'm a feeler. I feel everything. And so I'm standing there, and the energy was so electric. I was almost beside myself just talking to him on the phone. I was vibrating, and it felt like I had softballs in my hand because the light was trying to get in, because he embodies so much light. This man is amazing, and I just do feel and support what he transmits. It's the new ascension energy, and he is preparing people for the ascension.
Right. He's part of that. I mean, when I've done his workshop, I used to bring him to New York, so Abdi, and for a long time, and people have these great transfer, but I would feel it in my body. I'd feel like the Kundalini awakening. I'd have these kriyas, or whatever you want to call them, this energetic spurts going through, and I think that's also helped me in my acceleration. So I'm glad you're bringing Abdi there, and it's not about saying anything. He's just, I mean, he will speak, of course, if you have a question for him, but It's about feeling, like you're saying, feeling. So, and who else is coming there?
Oh, we have Raquel Spencer and Dr. Edwige. They're really big on the telesummit circles right now, and that's because they're so amazing. They both do light body work. In this ascension, this is something a little new for people, is you actually do have to work on your light body because we are embodying something different. This is a fundamental change to our DNA, and you have to work on your light body. And the further you go, you'll find yourself wanting to drop some of the older habits. You'll find yourself wanting to take better care of your temple because you become a temple and you want to do self-care. Whereas I think subconsciously sometimes we do the opposite of self-care on a subconscious level. And so the healing and the intention to your light body is amazing because you feel good in your skin. And there's a lot of people that have been on this planet for a long time that don't feel good in their skin, and you start to love yourself and thank yourself. And so that's what they do. They help you work through those energetic blocks that maybe you've carried around for 20 or 30 years. That's the light body work.
That's great because, you know, really, essentially, we are our light body. You know, it's not that the body emanates a field of light, it's that the light condenses to form the physical body. So, in essence, that's who we are on a higher soul spirit level. We're the light body. And as we work through this awakening the light body, of course it affects the physical body because everything starts from light and is condensed into form. So I think that's really essential feature. So you've laid out sort of a course, like a program, a curriculum for awakening at this conference.
It is. It's 2 full days and it's intentional. It's not me. It's divinely guided. This has a council behind it that wanted it to be. They have put the energy together. They have set the schedule. They're going to be there energetically to support it. Paul's guides will be there. There's a lot of Matt Khan's guides will be there. Even the guides, Panache has guides. He probably wouldn't say that, but he does. Abdi's guides will be there. So if you think about the powerful collection of people, not are they are going to be there, but more important than that, their guides are going to be there, and they are going to as an individual and a collective, they are going to be working with us at the higher level. So this program was so intentional, but it's not about me. It's put together by the guides.
Right, but you also accessed it. You know, you can take credit because you've accessed those through your feeling sense, because you are a great feeling being. You've accessed those. You know, they came through you, this direction through you. That's like the thing, it has to be manifested in the physical world. So you've taken action and have created this. So there's going to be an expo there too with exhibitors. And who else is on the schedule? Because you have another keynote, you have Paul, you have Abdi, you have Panache. Now, why'd you ask Panache? What does he bring for you to the conference?
Panache is fantastic. Now, some people would say, you know, he's a little more mainstream. He's done Super Soul Sunday.
Which is great. I think it's great that he has connected with Oprah, because Oprah then awakens to something else. So, yeah.
Oprah is instrumental. I mean, she has done so much for the new energy. It is fantastic, and she's very good at walking that border. So people that wouldn't be receptive to the message are receptive because of the way she packages it. So she has a very particular purpose, and she has actually been a beacon for the light on this planet.
I agree. I mean, people can hear something from somebody channeling some higher guides. They have to hear it from Oprah.
Yes.
Oprah's interested in it. Well, maybe there's something too. I mean, you know, that's okay. I think it's great. She's a bridge, and she's done incredible work on herself. So, I think it's important. She's a really important place in this new energy bringing in. So, just filling out the rest of the schedule. Who else do you have that you're really excited about?
Well, of course, Panache. Panache is fantastic, and he helped you go in and realize that you've already got everything that you need, that it's all on the inside, to love yourself, and those sorts of things. So he's amazing, and he is an amazing energetic transmitter. I mean, his presence is life changing. Just being in, like Abdi, just being in his.
Well, he was a student of Abdi. Abdi turned him on. So, you know, Abdi doesn't like to take credit. I don't know what their deal, but, you know, I know that, you know, boom, Abdi ignited panache. So, anyway, yeah, and, you know, it's like a candle. If you light that candle, it lights another candle, and it doesn't put out the light of the first candle. So, that's what we're all doing here. So yes, panache, I felt that energy too. And who else do you have there speaking?
I have my other keynote is a lady named Tara Robinson. She is a local lady. She publishes one of our bigger journals, but she just got a Hay House contract. She won their author's contract, and you know she is amazing. She recently got her light body, and she's amazing because she's a bridge of the two energies. She's so firmly rooted in the old energy, and she's so intellectually full of the rituals and the principles and all the things that people find very important with the old energy, but then her heart opened. And so she fully embodies the light of the new energy. So she's such an amazing speaker. She transmits the energy, and she speaks in such a way that she pulls them together, and you understand how the what was here in the older energy and what has been building how important that was to finally now give birth to something that everybody can have. So it's an amazing journey.
Well, I'd like to interview her actually too, because I like those people who are bridges and transitions, and I think she's right. I think the intensity of the old paradigm and the density, it's like a rubber band, you know, as far back as you pull it, you let that go, and the further it moves forward, it's propelled forward. So we've been as dense as you can get in a planetary civilization, and a lot of people are still acting out. There's still wars, and there's still lots of suffering, but, you know, I think that is part of a really fast acceleration that we're now in the midst of. That's my hope, you know, and
absolutely.
And so,
and that's the difference. That's the shift. The shift that is needed now is not the intellectual shift, because the intellect just judges. It doesn't change. If you're in your heart and your heart is open, you don't cause war. You can forgive. Really forgive. And really love. When someone is acting up, they don't need judgment. They need more love. That's what they're crying for. They're saying, love me more. Judge me less. And as soon as the judgment dissipates and the love happens, so the new, when I say new energy, I'm just speaking of the heart ascension. That energy will transcend. Now that it's available, will transcend so much that the intellect could see and understand, but couldn't fix.
Right. No, I agree. The intellect has only gotten us this far, and it's kind of we're at a very critical point because of that. And you're right, and I can just see that heart awakening in you and your intensity, and you're doing this whole conference because of that love that's emanating out of you. I see that, and I see how much you want to give back, and how not just that it's important to you, but it's important because of the love that's coming through you. It's like, yeah, you're like disappearing into this love. The old personality is disappearing, and you're now a vehicle for ascension, or a vehicle for awakening the heart. And this whole effort, it seems like, has been about that, what's coming through you to wake other people up. So, you know, if there's 500 people there, or 5,000, or 5 people there. There's more than that, but I mean, it's not about the the quantity. It's about people getting this and then spreading the intensity of what they feel, just like you're spreading it. So, we're all helping each other up in this new time. So I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. Thanks. And so it's 2 whole days in Cincinnati from 10 in the morning to like 8 at night, right?
Yeah, it's 2 full days.
And where in Cincinnati is this?
It's at the Duke Energy Center, downtown Cincinnati. It was a pretty big venue, so it's going to be very, very nice. And like you said, it is very much a labor of love. The expo, there'll be quite a few people. That will be what you would think of in a big bustling expo. But there's nothing wrong with that kind of joy and fun and excitement and shopping and talking and readings and, really good readers and healers and those sorts of things. But the underlying, it is about coming together and transcending. And I know that the universe will bring the right people for that ticket.
Right. Well, good. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. If people want to get a ticket, where do they go for this?
So you can get a ticket on the website, which is www.consciouscon.com. So it's kind of a take on Comic Con. Everything comics and sci-fi, that's what Conscious Con is. Everything consciousness and energy. So consciouscon.com. There are still tickets left. Of course, and I know that right now we're 7 days away, so it might be a last minute, but if you're moved by the energy and you feel you need to be there, I can promise you this is not an intellectual experience. You will come and you will walk away, and for the rest of your walk on this planet, you will be different. And my heart says that in honesty.
Beautiful. Yes, I think this is an experiential conference, and because of the people there and just the participants, there's a collective acceleration that I think everyone listening to this should be a part of. Because if you're listening to this, you are a part of it. Let's come together and be there. So, thank you, Patty, for being such a dedicated visionary and trusting your own, higher wisdom to create a beautiful gathering. So I appreciate it.
Thank you for seeing the vision and for doing this interview and doing all that you have done for so long. And what a blessed servant to do the amazing things to bring this earth to the point it is now, so that we can go forward and do even more amazing things. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for saying that. And, okay, so consciouscon.com. Yeah, I hope to see you there.
We want you to come.
All right, good. I would love to be part of that,